I also feel like having that desperation for Jesus is almost a catalyst in our sanctification. I think of Paul when he talks about it does all the credentials that he has, a Pharisee among Pharisees and a zealot and from the tribe of Benjamin. He just goes through and he lists all his credentials. Then he's like, I count all that is rubbish just for the cause of knowing Christ. That's all he wanted. And then look at the fruit of his life. He was clearly not afraid of people's opinions of him. So, Chris, how do you think that like desperation and sanctification, I don't know how to ask what I'm asking.
Marry in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking about, we've talked a lot about comfort versus desperation, and the middle ground of those two things that I think Paul exemplifies and teaches on is the subject of contentment. What does it mean to be content in whatever it is that the Lord gives you? If the Lord gives you plenty and safety and your marriage is clicking along and your kids are doing great and the job's doing fine, your health is good and your church is growing and and those things, are you content? Because you can have desperation in contentment. It's still, because desperation is just that realizing going, this is not mine. I was given this, I've been entrusted this, and so Lord, I'm asking you to continue to give whatever that is, and am I content in it? But then when you find yourself as the faithful missionary in a conflict, hostile scenario, and your life is in danger, and your kids are in danger, and all those kind of things, we're still called to be content in that. So that's rejoicing in all circumstances is all circumstances. And I love the fact that Scripture speaks to such a wide experience of life. We just finished doing a deep dive study of the book of Ecclesiastes, which most depressing book in the Bible, right? And one of I think probably one of the biggest takeaways I had from it was in the latter chapters. The author, the teacher of Ecclesiastes, talks about the problem of chance, and because he's emphasizing wisdom, and he says you can apply wisdom, and you do all the wise, you do all the right things, and it still doesn't factor in chance, right? You plant your crop the way you're supposed to do, you water it diligently, you do all the stuff, and then locusts come, and you have no control. It's just chance. I did all the wise things, right? I got, in my marriage, I went to premarital counseling, and then we got married, and then we were in a small group Bible study, and we were all these kind of things. And then all of a sudden, hormones change, or a cancer sickness comes, and an extended family member has some crisis that all of a sudden brings in this kind of going, but I did all the right things. Why are we in and going? It's those moments that do drive us to the practical desperation, where we literally say, God, I need you to move in this. But I think it's a reminder for us that in those good moments, we really do still have desperation. Lord, if the chance comes, good or bad chance, whatever, the unexpected, if you will, I need you to carry me through that. And that's the sanctification part of this, is going, Lord, give me contentment in the joy and the sorrow, in the plenty or the lacking, as Paul gave those kind of things. And that refining process of learning to be content regardless of what is. That was 12 and a half years of ministry life for me, pastoring a little bitty church out in rural Alaska, of lots of times of going like, okay, Lord, I need you to show me what contentment is in this, and show me what it is that you need me to learn in this season that I can't learn in any other way. And that's that sanctifying. Sanctifying is always a refining, and refining is always, take any illustration that the Scripture uses, right? Like having chaff blown. It's friction that's tearing apart the seed. It makes the chaff blow away. It's when you pull out dross out of the metal, it has to be melted for that to take place, or passing through the fire. Any of those things, they're all a challenge that allows that thing that's not supposed to be there to draw out. And so I think desperation is that acknowledgement that I'm not yet what I was meant to be in any aspect, any sphere of my life. And so, Lord, whatever it takes to draw that out, do that.
Yeah, I think to phrase it another way, with any of our, if we want to just make discomfort and frustration kind of the same thing, most of our frustration comes from our discomfort or the reality that we might be uncomfortable at some point. The question is like, what do we do with that discomfort or that frustration? Are we complaining or are we contending? And I think once we enter into true, holy, righteous, sanctified desperation, it goes to, I'm not just going to sit and complain about this. I'm going to contend in the throne room of God. I'm going to contend for this thing because I believe I'm viewing it righteously. And if I care about it, and if I'm frustrated by it, then I need to believe that God cares about it 1,000 times more than I do, and is 1,000 times more frustrated about it than I am. You know, so like frustration, it either festers into bitterness, or it fuels intimacy and intercession. It can either go one way or the other. And I think that's that battle of like, oh, wait a minute. Am I going to allow the Lord to sanctify me in this? And if I am, I need to take every thought captive in this moment and make sure that I'm captivating it and moving it towards abundant life, moving it towards intercession, contending, not complaining. But that, geez, it's easy to talk about right now. It's really hard in the moment.